What's good, YouTube? Adriannthakidd, and I'm lit. We back in this bit, man. Today they clapped his daughter, so he took revenge. Now look, bro, this could either have two meanings, bro. Like either they clapped his daughter, or you know what I'm saying, they clapped his daughter. You feel me? Yeah. Hey, so I'm guessing this the or you know what I'm saying, daughter. So it has to be the father. You know what I'm saying. So let's see how he took revenge, bro.
This surgeon takes lives instead of saving them. We open to the cop hurriedly
clapped
driving
his
his
daughter.
partner to the
That's a
hospital.
crazy title.
Once there, Dr. Paul Kersey tends to the fallen officer. Unfortunately, there isn't much he can do. Diagnosis: death. The partner feels guilty, but he did all that he could. A nurse calls out to Paul. He needs to work on the shooter now. As he walks off, the officer shouts, "So you're gonna go save that monster now?" Yes, yes he will. At home, Paul has a look at his broken watch while chatting with his wife Lucy. Then, they hear an excited screech upstairs from their daughter, Jordan. Perhaps she has a boy over. She comes down acting all calm and cool, then bursts with joy. She got accepted to her dream college.
Oh,
They're
okay.
so
I was
proud
about
of
to
her.
say she got
Later,
clapped just
they
then.
attend Jordan's soccer game where one of the parents is acting a little uppity. He starts shouting at the ref and cursing excessively. Paul tells him to calm down and prescribes a chill pill. The man counters, wanting to prescribe his fists. It almost breaks out into a fight, but Lucy steps in, protecting the timid Paul.
Man,
Fists.
me personally, bro,
Breaks out into
I'm not letting another grown man, you know what I'm saying, shove me away or do something like that. If we arguing, you know what I'm saying, it's going down. You know what I'm saying, my wife ain't gonna
fight,
stop it.
but Lucy steps in, protecting the timid Paul. After, the Kerseys go out for lunch. They're all excited for Jordan to start college. However, Paul's brother, Frank, suggests she picks up some martial arts skills to fight off any creepy boys, aka beta males. Suddenly, she breaks out her moves. She chokes Frank, and he's into it, meaning he admires her skills.
He's into it?
She's actually been training Krav Maga on a weekly basis.
She look kind of
Very
good.
cool. Outside the restaurant, Frank asks Paul for
No
$2
cap.
grand to pay off some debts. In the past, he was convicted of a crime, making employment difficult. As the good brother he is, Paul accepts. Then, the valet comes and Frank jokes that Paul's the man with all the cash. While just a passing joke for Frank, the valet takes it to heart and inspects Paul and his family. This guy seems like he's got money
he made
and
him
a happy
pay?
life. Time to ruin it. The man, Miguel, pulls up Paul's address in his car and snaps a pic with his phone. Oh, also, he's got his initials tattooed on his arm, a detail to remember.
Michael Jordan.
Sometime later, the fam prepares to go out to celebrate Jordan's birthday. However, Paul gets a call. He's got to come into work. It's sad, but they understand. The ladies cheer themselves up by shopping. Lucy plans to cheer
That's what I
Jordan
do,
up
bro.
with a
I
homemade
just go
cake.
spend all my money,
But
bro.
first,
Facts.
she needs her iPad. Jordan heads up to get it, but it's not in its usual spot. Then, Lucy notices one of the windows are open. Her suspicions begin to escalate as she spots dirty footsteps in the house.
They done got robbed,
Suddenly,
bruh.
Jordan screams. The full reality of the situation quickly sets in. Three creepy-ass men have broken in, and they take the ladies hostage. The leader, Knox, has Lucy direct him to the safe, while Jordan is left with Joe and Fish. Lucy has
Now they finna
difficulty
clap
opening
her.
their safe under pressure, while Jordan gets all kinds of creepy vibes from Fish.
Get to
His
clapping.
partner tells him to stop
Whoa.
goofing around, and they begin to argue.
I mean, if she gonna
Jordan
die, you know what I'm
capitalizes
saying?
on the moment and
Why drag
attacks
it
with a
on?
knife. Lucy runs down soon after and throws boiling water on Fish.
Ooh.
A meal's gotta cook. In retaliation, the men open fire. At the hospital, Paul is alerted of 2 new victims. When he goes to check on them, he's stopped, but realizes what that must mean. He runs over to Lucy and finds that she's come down with a severe case of not being alive. As far as
The severe case of not being alive. Nigga, she's dead. What do you mean severe case? Bro, that's crazy, bro. So, I think his brother really set him up, bro. His brother was like, you know what I'm saying, he got the money, then he didn't pay. Dude was like, alright, but I'm gonna pull up, you know what I'm saying, we gonna get this money. That's crazy. So, I don't know if his wife and daughter got killed.
Jordan, she's in a coma. Paul later meets with some detectives, Kevin Raines and Leonore Jackson,
a coma was
who
still
launch an
alive.
investigation into Lucy's murder. Come on, man. Paul attends Lucy's funeral with her family. After the service, Paul rides with Lucy's father when suddenly he stops and hops out of the car. He noticed some poachers in the area and they clapped his deer. Lucy's
clapped
father
his
grabs
deer?
his rifle and shoots
Bro,
after the
bro,
men,
you
but
do
they
not
get
sound right
away.
saying clap,
Paul
bro.
is shook. The gun-wielding alpha male explains that sometimes you gotta take the law into your own hands to defend what's yours. In
Facts.
the aftermath of all this,
Do a break
Paul
on
is
my
having
house.
trouble sleeping, so he goes to therapy. She helps him work through his trauma and offers some tips on getting a good night's sleep. No minute movies before bed. He understands that recovery is a process, but isn't sure what the end goal is. His wife is gone, his daughter is comatose, and he feels like he failed.
Wait,
He
his
wasn't
wife
there to
is gone?
protect them when they need.
So the video should have been titled, "They clapped his wife."
Wife is gone, his daughter is comatose, and he feels like he
Comatose.
failed. He wasn't there to protect them when they needed him most.
Dang.
Later, Paul checks in with the police department about his case. Luckily, he arrives just as Kevin is getting water and gets buzzed in without an appointment. Kevin has a wall full of sticky notes, open cases left unanswered for months. Despite this, Kevin assures Paul his case is different since it wasn't gang-related. As you must know, gangs live by the ancient Chinese proverb, snitches get stitches. Kevin implores
Thanks.
Paul to have faith and wait, but this just makes Paul feel even more powerless. At night, he decides to go for a walk when he notices two thugs harassing a woman. He intervenes, which stops the men from hurting her, but they turn their attention to him instead. They beat him up pretty badly before leaving him lying on the street. During his recovery period, Paul sees an ad on TV for a gun store and he takes an interest in purchasing a weapon.
Nigga, bro. So you telling me your wife and your daughter both got clapped? You know what I'm saying? And now, like a month later, now you wanna look into getting a gun, nigga. You should already have one, bruh. You know what I'm saying, to protect your family. This second, why'd you wait so long? Now you like, maybe I need one, bruh. You know what I'm saying? My wife and daughter just got killed. I ain't sliding though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Dirk, bruh.
He goes to the store and speaks to Bethany, who explains the process of getting a gun in America. Basically, if you have a pulse, you're good to go. Though he takes note of all the security cameras and the fact that the gun and its bullets will be traceable back to him, and decides against buying one. Another day at the hospital, another gunshot victim, but this time the thug drops a Glock. Paul quickly kicks it under the bed. He somehow manages to bring it home undetected and proceeds to learn how it works. Under the bed, gunshot victim, but this time the thug drops.
So nobody heard the gun drop on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And then bro go ahead and pick it up and then try to learn how to use it, bro.
It's a Glock.
I don't like this
Paul quickly
dude,
kicks
bro.
it under the bed. He somehow manages to bring it home undetected and proceeds to learn how it works. I think you just pulled the trigger, dummy.
I'm saying,
We
bro,
proceed
or
with the
look it up
training
on
montage,
YouTube if
overlaid
anything.
with his day job. You see, in the day he saves lives, and at night he's preparing to take them. One night, he checks up on Jordan and finds that her condition has worsened. She's having seizures now. As a precaution, she's been strapped to the bed. Paul notes the irony. His daughter is essentially handcuffed while the animals that did this to her are free, living their best lives.
That's like young Ganesh got shot and they handcuffed him, you know what I'm saying, took him in,
looking for trouble.
Even though he could have
Soon,
died.
He sees a carjacking take place as two thugs assault a man and take his girlfriend in their car.
I guess he gonna pull the
Paul
blick out.
shouts out and they immediately respond with bullets. He shoots back at the car, causing it to crash. Then the kickback of the gun slide cuts his hand. All the meanwhile, someone is recording him. This is sure to be a viral hit. One of the carjackers stumbles out of the car and begins firing sporadically. Paul waits for the perfect shot, then pops him. He walks over, looms over him, and puts him down for good. Then Paul walks to the car and checks on the driver. He's fine, just sleeping. The detectives arrive on the scene hours later. After speaking to the witness who recorded the incident, they learn that the video was, in fact, a viral hit. At home, Paul sees his handiwork for himself, and he's loving it. The next day while driving to work, Paul tunes into the radio. They're all talking about his heroic vigilante ways. They even dub him the Grim Reaper. At work, Paul tends to a boy who was shot on the leg. He tells Paul that the so-called ice cream man did this to him because he didn't want to sell. And he ain't talking about delicious cold treats. Paul checks the boy's address, then assures him that everything is gonna be fine.
So what? So people was trying to carjack somebody, you know what I'm saying? And then he shoots like I feel like nowadays I feel like if you do something like that, you gonna at least like go to jail for like questioning or something. And then like after they seen the clip, they probably gonna let you go, but I don't know.
True to his word, Paul pulls up to the turf while Chief Keef is bopping in the background. Bang, bang. Paul finds the street name and then goes to find the ice cream man. He introduces himself.
Oh, this man that pulled up my old block.
Customer.
This man getting dangerous.
All over the man's chest. The reaction following this is,
what did you just say?
Customer before dumping his load all over the man's chest.
This man just got a whole load dumped on his chest. Man, bro, first off, this dude shouldn't even be in O Block, bro. I don't know why he pulled up out here, bro.
Bang. Paul finds the street name and then goes to find the ice cream man. He introduces
Oh, this
himself
the dude that
as
shot the
his
kid.
last customer before dumping his load all over the man's chest. The reaction following this is mixed. Some think vigilantes are cringe, while others think it's based. Kevin and his partner arrive on the scene and spot some kids reenacting the scene. Kevin notes that the boy is shooting with his left hand. Interesting. He reviews the Reaper's footage and finds that the mystery man is indeed left-handed. Back at work, another gunshot victim is brought in, and this time it's Miguel, whom Paul recognizes from his tattoo. While Paul uses a defibrillator on him, he notices a rather familiar watch. It's his. What time is it? Snooping time. Paul takes Miguel's phone from the ambulance and unlocks it with his thumb. Inside, he finds the picture of his address on the phone. He also goes through his contacts and finds that all the stolen items from the safe are being sold at a pawn shop. So, Paul pays a visit and speaks to the owner.
Even to blast the man up?
He name drops Miguel, leading Ponytail to get suspicious. As he circles around Paul, he notices that his hoodie has a morgue tag on it. Uh-oh.
A morgue?
Ponytail casually texts Fish, alerting him to the doctor's surprise visit. Paul asks him if he's got any watches. Ponytail says yes. He goes to reach for an oddly gun-shaped one, then Paul attacks, stabbing his hand. He forces him to take him to his belongings. He takes Paul to the back to find his stuff, but moments later, Fish shows up and attempts to shoot Paul.
Fish scale.
But he pops Ponytail instead. Certified
How you shoot and hit your own mans, bro? Friendly fire is on.
Paul and Fish exchange gunfire, but then Paul's gun jams. Fortunately, Fish slips on some water, and Paul feels a sudden musical inspiration.
Dang.
Yeah, it even struck a chord with Fish. Fish flees, but just as he's about to taste freedom, Paul manages to tag his leg. He's probably thinking,
oh yeah, Paul,
the hitboxes in this game are way too big. Fish tries to weasel his way out of Paul's wrath by giving up Joe, who he reveals works at a local auto shop. Suddenly, Fish attacks. Paul is stunned and accidentally fires a shot off. The bullet hits a bowling ball, which begins to roll. Fish closes in, but as fate would have it, he gets bonked. Beautiful. Man, Paul is sure to collect the hard drives before fleeing the scenes. At home, he watches a tutorial on how to destroy the data inside. This was before YouTube stole all your dislikes, so he's certain it's a good tutorial. After, the media frenzy continues. Now, there's even memes of the Reaper. Nice meme.
Oh,
at work, Paul gets a visit from the detectives. There's been a break in the case. A man named Fish got fried, and they found the pawn shop with all his stuff. Of course, he already knows all this, but acts surprised anyway.
Like, bro, alright, so, like, this is really, like, unrealistic, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously, it's a freaking, like movie or short film, whatever it is, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're going to jail. You walk into a pawn shop, ends in a shootout, you end up killing somebody, you know what I'm saying? How are you not, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after investigation and stuff, they're gonna realize that, like, that was your stuff and all that, bro. But, you know what I'm saying? That's just not real, bro.
I think Kevin could spot when someone has a dark alter ego
so
by now, right?
Bro, do not go shooting up a pawn shop thinking you're gonna
Paul
walk
goes
out
to the
free,
garage
bro.
where Joe works. Joe rudely tells Paul he's closed, so Paul grabs a wrench and hits his off button. Paul then which is being propped up by a crowbar. He puts his surgeon expertise
as a man,
to use,
if you know that area hurts, bro, why are you doing that,
reveals that
bro?
Knox was the mastermind behind the whole thing, but he isn't someone who is easily found. Apparently, he finds you. With all the information he needs, Paul delivers a sick one-liner. "That was off the chain, yo," he says before yanking the chain and condemning Joe to a car coffin. Meanwhile, the detectives pay Frank a visit. They think he's the Reaper. He's left-handed, has motive, and not such a clean record. We cut to Paul chilling with Jordan. As usual, she's not very talkative. He receives a text. An unknown number is threatening to reveal the truth about him. The phone rings. It's Knox.
Let's see.
An unknown number.
Answer now, I'll tell the cops you were led. I'm gonna leave it. Alright.
Is threatening to reveal the truth about him. The phone rings. It's Knox. He invites Paul to meet him at a club, but not so they can dance. Fearing for his brother, Frank checks in on Paul, but he doesn't seem to be home. Frank lets himself in and stumbles upon Paul's mess of a basement. He spots bullets and realizes what's really going on. Back to Paul, he arrives at the club and is told to meet at the bathroom.
I ain't gonna care, but this man Paul is sliding,
he calls the phone and takes aim.
You can't say Paul not outside.
Everyone else runs away in fear. The stall opens. It's empty. Suddenly, Knox appears from behind, firing away. Protected by a human shield. Paul takes cover, but doesn't fire back, fearing for the innocent. Using his 200 IQ, he spots an electrical box and shoots it out. In the cover of darkness, Paul flees. In the aftermath, Knox ends up in the hospital and the detectives arrive to question him. He says he knows who the shooter was. Before he reveals the name, we cut back to Paul, dealing with his own injuries. Through sheer
Paul
will,
got
he
shot.
manages to patch up his own wound. Meanwhile, the detectives burst into Paul's empty office. Paul is in fact headed towards his basement where he runs into Frank. The pair have a heart-to-heart. Of course, Frank wants him to put an end to it all and focus on doing what's best for Jordan. Then, the Popo come knocking. Frank answers the door and makes up an alibi for Paul. They have no choice but to leave. Back in the basement, the brothers continue to chat when Paul receives a call.
W friend, but damn, bruh. If I'm in my basement and my friend comes up like, hey, Adrian can't come out, you know what I'm saying? He's throwing up. They're like, oh, we respect that. We got to leave. Come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Dude was shooting it, bro.
Jordan woke up.
It's
finally.
Crazy.
Paul rushes over and unfortunately has to break the news about her mother. On the bright side, Jordan is physically well and can come home soon. Fast forward a week and the pair head for the elevator. Just as the door is about to close, Knox enters. He knows exactly who they are, but Paul doesn't. He never saw his face. He makes small talk with Jordan, then calls Paul by name as they leave. Uh-oh. Immediately after, Paul visits Bethany to fulfill his American freedoms. After Jordan returns home, Knox returns to the house with 2 other goons. Jordan hides in the closet as Paul deals with them.
Don't want to get shot
he pops
again,
the 2
Come
goons
on.
using his super stealth skills. But Knox is nowhere to be found. Paul checks the basement, then gets surprise attacked. Knox savors the moment while Jordan panics. She pops out of her hiding spot and runs over. Knox gets distracted and Paul seizes the moment. He opens a nifty compartment under a table to pull out a huge gun and pump Knox full of lead. After, the detectives arrive on the scene. Kevin talks to Paul about what happened, questioning him about the guns. Although Paul's story is clearly suspicious, Kevin decides to make up a story that Knox returned because he thought Jordan would identify him. Later on, Paul drops Jordan off at college. On his way out,
she was just in a wheelchair.
Notices a man who just committed a robbery. He calls to the man and pretends to shoot him with his finger. Moral of the story? You can save lives by taking.
I guess, bro. Alright, so this was clickbait, you know what I'm saying? They did not clap his daughter, bro. She got shot, but she ain't died. You know what I'm saying? The mama died. So the video should have been titled "They clap his wife." So he took revenge, bro. And I don't know why he waited so long to take revenge, bro. I guess he had to figure out who did it and that type of stuff. But look, man, that's it for this video. About minute movies. I kind of like this. I like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really have to watch the movie. I just got to watch somebody talk about it, bro. So if y'all enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, or major the kid on the